Testing, testing.
Cut that.
I have the stairs in it.
Yeah.
Get these sorted out, there'll be food, drinks.
So what about this French lot? They get £300 something to go and enjoy themselves. And a tour. And the German as well, German group.
I think the French people are quite charming, actually.
To be fair, those two towns unless they're HTH or unless they're really chronically useless. So
Yeah, but it's still got to revise.
yeah. You'll be alright. But it'll be sensitive to your week.
I'll get the long history essays.
You think they're kind though when they mark our exams, you know? I don't recording what we're saying now. I should be talking about this.
Unless you walk onto
Why? It's your exam results.
When do you get yours?
instead of cancelling it, postpone it to next week if you want.
No, unfortunately I'll be here. But never mind. I mean, you can't do much about it now.
See with my glasses.
What's your excuse that you can't come to today?
I did English lesson. Cost of English.
10 days before we need to start.
Did you do the English copy?
I'm going to do English, French, German, and dance. Hitler, fascism. Maybe the
I'm doing the First World War.
What are you doing?
First World
Where
War.
are you doing that from?
Oh, I was doing the essay, and then the other industrialisation unit.
So you only get to concentrate on one section too?
I think
You read out all the US questions. No social thought.
what did they know?
The last slide. Not bad.
Was the one on the journal?
There were two on reconstruction and two on
Progressive.
So you know they won't be the same two reconstruction. There wasn't one on Garvey last year. So I reckon there'll probably be a Garvey question.
What about Turner?
Turner. So maybe Garvey and Turner. Yeah, if you want. If anyone wants to borrow it in mind, German industrialisation.
I think so, yeah. Well, it's all very well in talking to the president and sabbatical officers, but I think the radio will come face us all. You know?
Because I've got my notes from
It's a lot more crucial, really. There's standing in front of. Go on, Mark. I have every faith in you. Why was that? Apparently Alice is going to get voted in now tonight for the Masters thing, I think. Yeah.
Off, totally off Literary Society. I'm sure you were all going to come. Why? Is it off? Why? It's just off. Why do you cry?
Is it cancelled then?
Yes, it was
It's not. That was me asking everybody, you're going to come, and still.
My apologies.
It's disgusting.
No, it's just a combination of horrible meetings. I think I'm going to nice America. You
Oh dear, you poor soul, still haven't you? Makes my heart bleed.
I'm sure it does. Immigration, foreign policy, and populism.
And that's all. How many is that?
Progressivism. You might
definitely 2 on that. The second was
Yeah, cognitive. What else can we do?
West.
yeah.
You said that's not in the exam.
German thesis.
That's been key.
Yeah, you said it isn't in the exam. When we did it, I remember it, I scrawled it all over my essay. Term is not in.
Are you going to concentrate on cognitive as well?
I don't want to do anything.
Have you been seeing Dagmar?
I think the immigration.
So what else are you doing?
Well, that's the main thing.
I think I'll do the president.
Brilliant political views. Anarcho-feminist. Yeah, great. Dagmar?
We were saying that if you don't get the question, then you don't answer the question, that's it.
Well, I know you have to answer the question, but if you bring in relevant things, you should get points for.
If they're relevant to the title, then not.
Yeah, but I mean, just say you've got all the relevant facts, but you just don't happen to slant it the correct way because it knows. That means you don't get.
No, it's too bad. That's fair enough, really. I suppose. It is. What you said about not answering the question, if you don't get any points, that's right. They might as well say, write down all you know about it.
So you're going to try and answer the question, aren't you? But you
But
might
if it's
just
irrelevant information, what's the point of giving it? You're answering a question, not anything else.
It's better to get something done, though, anyway, isn't it?
Well, the questions are not difficult. Some of them are really straightforward, like account for the activities of.
Did you look at last year's paper that you put up? No, I'm just going to have a look.
It's not that bad.
You said there were no trick questions anyway. I mean,
No, he was doing his lectures bit. We're doing this to make sure we bring out the best.
it's the happy smiling face bit. He wants happy smiling face. I should wear a Mickey Mouse mask.
That doesn't give me long to work with. You're going to get married. I know it. This is not going to go up there now.
How old is he?
28 on Tuesday.
The oldest one.
No, it's not. It's getting on now, isn't it? So, I mean, Al's 23, it's only going on tomorrow now. I try that tactic. Tonight. You can't. Yeah, but anybody can. Oh, it backfires, hasn't it? It's on there. Somewhere.
Channel 5. What's the fair now?
Yeah, but Thursday, tomorrow night, Friday night is going to be really, really nice. Because I've been here like, I nearly read something like that. I can't afford to buy a cross. So you have to make do.
The eternal student out there. Well, how come it's not applicable then? Was it just the forces you did it?
Hey?
You did it with your dad, presumably?
Yeah, did it in Germany.
Uh-huh.
for your licence? British Force and German licence? Just because I took it out there, you know, so I'm part of the army.
I mean, I took test in the army and got my licence, but it's still classed as a licence.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, you would have thought so. I mean, licence is the licence, right?
You wouldn't have thought that the army's licence would be worth anything less than a civilian one.
Yeah, I know.
And with the British civilian licence, you can drive in Germany.
I remember my dad saying something like, you can only use it for so long.
Well,
Obviously, you come here to live, you
that
get
is the same as an ordinary German licence. You can only come over here for so long driving. You've got to new test and so all down.
Yeah, right.
two things have to get used to, driving on the left and roundabouts.
Oh, roundabouts are amazing, going around the wrong way. Really excellent.
I've never come across one you do.
No.
It's just traffic lights.
The number of accidents that happen about 20 yards from the harbour itself, though, you know, people just coming off the ferry and they go around the wrong way. Incredible.
Left, 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 just get that in my brain.
So what side's the steering wheel on your car?
Side. Change gears on my right hand.
Yeah. I find it easier to drive in Germany in a German car than to drive in an English car and vice versa. Well, if you're going to drive the minibus next year, you'll have to learn, won't you? Do we want a minibus next year is the question.
She would be actually. What? I don't mind. I can sit and watch colour television. Nobody's there to babysit for her. Yes, doesn't she think it's a great insult to the time? Sorry.
I went to this play that came to the Simpsons. There's that sort of bit like time. I don't know exactly flat, but we're sitting on other people.
Oh dear. Did you have your pump with you?
I've got the book, you know, but I can't get it to work. And that's when it sounds, you know. And I go like this, and it just goes.
The basic things of life.
Well, like, seriously, like, anybody else? Actually, no, it's quite refreshing. Multi-purpose pump. Gosh.
The other shower works.
I heard you.
I think it's a cheap.
Hello, and I could hear my voice today.
I was wondering whether we could just do the other
Oh yeah, I'm just doing one there.
we don't have to answer questions.
No, you can do one. Might you get to answer?
I'm reducing my revision down to doing the things I know. And I've done 2 essays on 2 other plays, so I think I'll concentrate on that instead of trying to learn about Hamlet now. So, this is Paranoia Lives.
Yeah, for the whole lot or something like that. And if they didn't eat them, then we could always
Eating ourselves.
orange juice instead. Yeah. Well, no, we could offer them something else. There's usually 3, isn't there? Choice of 3 at the beginning.
I think a choice of 3 is what we need because obviously towards the end of the sitting, one is likely to disappear. You don't want a situation where you've only got one thing they can add.
Just trying to think of something else that you could.
Because
Easy.
it's just quick to prepare.
If that's because some people just want that, don't they? Orange straight tomato
Do you think
juice.
people will resent paying that much money just for a glass of orange juice?
What about instead of orange juice, you got something like this tropical juice? And chat to cherry
That's
on the top or
revolting.
something. It might be revolting, but it sounds good. They've already got it, haven't they?
Well, that
They can't
cheap
do
stuff
anything
they got
else.
in the car, sort of
I don't know.
Yogurty
Well,
stuff.
I don't know.
produce from more than 15 countries.
I don't know what they call it, tropical five or whatever. Five alive. Yeah, I think it's something like
Fruit juice, I should put down.
that. Hedge your bets, yeah.
Right. That's.
Or you could get some of that, and you could get some orange juice, you know. Give them a choice.
That's what we'll do.
Because usually
Just
they
put
do
down
natural
starters.
orange.
Or
Usually
dog.
they do fruit juice and orange juice anyway. You have a choice between the two. Fruit juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you're, I mean that is just for people who don't want to sort of go for a big
Or
order.
on a diet. And
They're on a diet. Right.
Are we catering for vegetarians?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, vegetarian samosas.
No, but I mean, overall.
Oh, overall.
Yeah,
yes.
the salad will have, yeah.
be options.
It depends how vegetarian they can be. If they're going to be, it's usually it's cheese we want them to be. That's the alternative to them. You could get it out.
We got any vegans. So they get very strong, very cheesy.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I think it's just tough.
Which
Anything
pastry's
else?
a bit dodgy because I know Carol, she won't eat pastry if there's lard in it. If you make it with butter,
Well, if
it's
we get-
okay, but if you make it with lard, she won't eat it.
Yes, I see. Well, if we get in touch with the people down the road, I'm sure we can leave all that in their hands and we can assure them.
We
that
can
it's
find out
not-
what's
And then
kosher or
when-
not.
They can't taste it.
Or should
Right.
we have the tomatoes and the vinaigrette without cheese?
Just some vinegar.
Right. Well, that's good. Obviously, we're going to have to find out the supply of things like samosas. Might prove a bit of a problem.
It might well do. I think that's just a sort of.
It's a nice idea.
No.
We're not going to eat that many anyway.
There's several. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Would one do as an hors d'oeuvre?
I think you
I think
probably
I'll
need
go
two
with
actually,
two, yeah.
and they're usually about 15p each when you buy them down there. aren't they?
So that's the price they sell them with a. So they sell them cheaper than that if you're going to buy.
I would have thought so. Yeah, I know if you buy them down here, they cost a lot more than that, but then that's a rip-off.
We'll find out what the supplier is.
But you'd also need something to like lettuce or something to decorate it with. You can just put them on the plate.
Because we count on if we find out where they get them from, we can get them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Unless we get a really good deal from the shop, I can't see that.
Well, we can see. I don't know. We might well get a good deal from the shop because sometimes these people are so anxious to, get things. We'll see anyway.
Right, well that's marvellous. Well, we'll leave that as it is for now. We'll come back to it. Right, the main bit.
We thought just now, didn't we?
Last year, what, it was cold meat and salad.
Yeah. I think that's.
Well, that's obviously the easiest way to do it. And I think possibly just a variation on a theme.
Well, we thought you could sort of have a different sorts of salads
And different sorts of cold meat.
and different sorts of cold meat. Just put say the cold meat on the plate and give them the plates and then put so many bowls on the table.
Yeah.
And everybody serve themselves some different sorts of
You see, something like ham is really expensive,
Yes.
you know, but something like salami is a lot cheaper. And if you don't have to go for the cheapest of the cheap, but you can get
But
that
you
in
could
big
have some
sausage.
beef and stuff.
Yeah.
Just supplement.
But we don't have to go.
That'd
for
be
the-
quite easy because
Yeah.
we could just make up a.
They have that chicken roll
This
stuff as well,
thing.
don't they?
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you made up, say, 40 or 50 bowls of different salads, rather than making up 450, 500 plates of different
Right.
salads.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Would you have our tray down the middle of the tables?
Yeah. We can
Yeah,
do.
in silver foil, and then put the food onto them, and then they have to serve them. Or do you want it actually in bowls?
What does it, oh, how do you mean? What?
In bowls it would be better because there'd be more of it. Maybe. We would have to get bowls.
You've got to remember you've got 2 bottles of wine on each table.
Yeah.
2 or is it 4?
Two
2 bottles of wine on each table.
and candles.
Yeah, and napkins and menus and all the rest of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I still think it's, it's worth thinking.
Right, so.
What about spring rolls? You know, these like pancake rolls.
Well, cold. They're horrible.
Can you eat
isn't
them
it?
cold? Right?
I have difficulty eating them hot, I must admit.
They just might be quite easy to get hold of in bulk, I would have thought. You can get a cash and carry them.
Can you?
I think so, yeah.
What, cooked?
Cooked, yeah. Oh.
Sure, you've got to deep fry them.
No, you probably got to deep fry them,
Plate of meat. That's a good idea. Whose idea was that?
What?
Having a plate with meat, that's a good idea. I like that.
Approval.
Marvellous, marvellous. Yeah, right.
But like if you had a table of 8 and a table of 6, everybody would have the same amount, you know.
Just beginning to wonder whether... Yeah, we're definitely going to have waitress service.
Well, after a fashion.
If you
We couldn't run it like a buffet.
No.
No, there'd be too many people in there.
And also, it doesn't make it very nice because people are going to be queuing up.
Yeah. I was just thinking that if we've got sort of main dishes set out, all those on the table could be like salads or something like that. We could have the dishes then on...
There's obviously going to have to be waitress service of some sort because to clear up after each course.
Yeah.
And to bring it to them as well if they chose.
Yes, well done.
Because for the hors d'oeuvre as well, we're going to have something like that, aren't we? Because there's 3 choices. Right. So, what ideas of meats? I just sort of what there is.
You could get some ham if you want, but I think ham is so obvious and so expensive.
Yeah.
You could go. I mean, you don't have to get the really gross, that violent pink salami stuff. You could go for slightly more.
Really horrible stuff.
You go for something slightly better than that.
But you want to have something.
Well, salami's expensive as well.
Yeah, but it's not as much as ham.
Chicken.
Nowhere
You want to
near.
have something.
Not if you, especially not if you buy it in rolls. You see, if you buy a block of ham, big bucks. If you buy a tube of
Have they got a
salami,
slicer in there so we can slice it really thin?
Well, yeah, or we can get this. We can get that. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure.
Alright.
Yeah, but there must be.
But you need to have something ordinary as well, because I don't think everybody would like just
Well, you could get
plain
quite.
salami.
Like turkey roll or chicken
Yeah.
roll or something like that. Yeah.
Corned beef.
Peter, describe the person that Tony has a close-up on every time that he does stay on it. No, not now. So that I can go in close.
French bread would be cheaper.
French bread would be cheaper. That's also it's got more sort of, something.
Yeah, if he cut it at an angle as well, That shouldn't be a problem.
Salads.
Well, we had lots of ideas. Well, we had some ideas for salad, didn't we? You can buy buckets of salads at cash and carry.
Oh god!
The coleslaw surprise and all this kind of stuff. Or we could probably buy some and make some as well, because it's dead easy stuff to make.
They got all the gear in there for shredding and
Yeah, I mean you can. That's right. You can also do stuff with. Yeah. You can also do things like if you get sort of pasta shells, and you put a bit of cream in with not cream but cream cheese in with it, and
Sweet corn, we do it with it.
yeah, that's right, sweet corn and a bit of curry powder as well.
Yeah.
You can really make it
Yeah.
nice with and peppers and things like
Well, if
that.
it's Oriental, why don't you have different, like a Chinese salad and something else salad and something else salad? Because Chinese, you just put Chinese cabbage in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
Chinese.
Like bean sprouts, so you could do an enormous thing with bean sprouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This large mountain of bean sprouts.
Last year, what exactly was?
You grow them in the
Grow anything.
closer behind Liz this time. Is that alright?
Okay.
That's lovely. Okay, fall back. Yeah, sorry, you go. You've got a book you want to review.
Yeah.
I want to shot you coming out of the library now. We'll do this like inside. If you just stand at the desk, looking that way, and then I want you to just turn around and come out. Is that all right? How would you know? Well, I'll wave to you.
Well, I won't be looking at you.
Yeah, you can look at me. When I wave, you look at her, and then pick your book up and turn around and come out.
Okay. And when does Liz come forward?
No, this isn't in this.
Alright, this is this. Right.
You're recording, aren't you? Yeah, okay, signal him then. Right. Liz, would you go in there and just put your books on the counter and just talk to her for a minute? Because I just want a shot of her looking up to you as you get in there.
So don't stand immediately in front of her, right? Just
Right.
outside.
Just stand slightly to the left of her. So. You just go in now.
Okay, I'm unplugging cable. Tony.
I don't know how long.
Mustn't really
Can I get it too? Yeah. Right, just as well. Right.
You chuck it away further down. Just further down the steps so I can't see it. I can see the cable. Hang on, Liz. Just put me. Are you ready to record? Okay. Right. I'd better tell Mike because we need Mike to follow you in. Yes. Oh no, no. Can you follow Liz in again? Exactly as you did before, and just do that. Okay.
Usual conversation.
Okay.
use conversation, we don't normally talk to each other.
Oh. Do you want us to just be at the top or downstairs?
Just go halfway down the stairs and then start walking up. Okay, Pete.
the other two books are as well.
Right, okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye. Bye.
Right, Liz, need to do that twice more.
Well done, well done. You're doing well.
Yes. Why not? We did it twice and there was a long
So we can start.
No, we're alright, we're alright. No, we'll end up with something we can.
Which angle are you going down?
Tony going for this thing.
That's that one. This one.
Alright, let's do it from this angle this time.
Where was Liz standing? At the start of the shot.
22nd.
Yes, okay. It takes actually longer to put the cards back in the system. It has to get there.
22nd.
This time you don't need to go out the door. Just go to the door and come up again. Because I want to do it from here. You can go straight ahead as soon as you like. Okay, stop there. Just hang on. We can save doing it again if I come round and do some close-ups of you put the tickets in.
Keep your hands.
Change those two books over because you had that one last time. Yeah, that's important because if the orange one shows up, you see. Just give me a moment to sort this out. Okay, you can go ahead with it.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Okay, I'd like to stop there a minute, please. Back through the door, round that way over to the comics. Alright?
Yeah, are you going to give me a...
No, you just go ahead, take a deep breath and then do it.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It's plastic bag.
I want to repeat it.
His plastic
You
bag.
go to the inquiry desk, pick that paper up off the floor and put it on the desk. Okay? And turn the inquirer's label round. Yeah.
So I go to the other side.
I'll move you forward.
I'll wait to you when I hear him start.
Okay.
Which hand was he using to hold his plant?
Okay. Action. Right, can we do it once more, Mike? Don't walk so fast this time. Do it as if you're on the way to the park.
Maybe I was. Habakkuk prophetic books.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's stop these in.
How can you smile when you eat your apples?
Okay then. Okay, good then. Thank you, that was lovely. Right. I'll just dab that on the front. Okay. Okay, Liz, let's go ahead. Liz, what I'd like you to do, look along the books that are more in front of you, and pick one out of that sequence between you
This
and
one?
yeah.
Run your fingers.
Okay. Let's put it back, but keep your hand on it so you know which one it is. And I'll move the camera around to there. Right, can you do exactly what you did again? Just look along it and then take that one out and look at it. Stay there. I'll do it again.
Sorry, she had her left hand on some of the books.
You couldn't see
Okay.
that, right? Okay,
put it back again?
Yes, and then can you do exactly the same thing once more? Or can you come back another way? Where? Right.
Oh, I see.
Okay, you go ahead, Liz. Could you come in and have a look at some books in this way? There's some other people about. Liz, can you put it back on a minute and I'll ask you to do that. And this side,
Come this way. I'm behind us.
yeah, don't bring a book for me. Just trouble you to have a look at some books in there and take one.
It doesn't matter which side you go, right? Just carry on.
If one of you is looking one side and one this side. That's right. Right. Yeah, could you come a bit further this way? Right. Let me think. Easier if you crossed over, would it? No, that'll do.
Go ahead, please.
Can you come nearer? No, instead, can you come take a lap up at this side?
Are you filming
I'll
me?
call you. This way. This way. This way. This way. That's better. Can you go further down then? On that side. That's better. That's fine. Okay, Liz, can you do exactly what you did before then? Could you, sorry, can you take a book off the shelf and then just walk out this way with it? You go on looking at that one, Liz. Fine, thank you, Peter. That's lovely, thanks so much.
Disk drive, I think. It's exactly where I am.
I don't think you're very good drawing, so it's just really. Keep the same here.
Right, so we better stop. Where's Paul's?
He's not going to give us the divisions. However, by reading closely enough between these texts, we know that there is a serious division, and it's the typical one, Jew or Greek. Now, Hebrew or Hellenistic, they're all Jews in the state. Some of them are more Gentile inclined, they have had a Greek education. They're not so scrupulous about the observance of the law. They're what we would call liberal Jews. The way Luke describes it, what I've said this before, is in the earliest days a division arose in the church over the distribution of bread, because some of the Hellenistic widows complained that they were being passed over in the dough. The Hebrew widows were getting their bread buns free, the Greek widows weren't. So Luke tells us that Peter, chief of the apostles, calls a meeting and decides, and he gives a big sermon on the issue, it wouldn't be right for me to neglect preaching the gospel in order to give out the bread bonds, therefore we're going to elect seven other ministers who were called the deacons, who will give out this kind of dole system, look after the widows, and we apostles will do the preaching jobs. Everybody's happy about that. It's the only time it comes in the text. That covers a great big surge of history, and it's Luke's way of dealing with it. Now, let's try and take that text to pieces and stuff. What happened really? Well, you can read it first of all on a very naive level. But the naivety is making a theological point. Therefore, in a sense, you can't take it on a naive level without interpreting. It's the beginnings of the way Christianity worked out a theology, an authority structure in the early church. Why is authority so important in the church? Yeah, sort of. What kind of different things, like worship? Whose doctrine are we following? We follow that of the authority figure. Depending on the power of the authority figure, you can dissent from it internally, not externally. When we go into the chapel, it's a very liberal world, totally alien to the ancient world. We mustn't forget that the ancient world is far more rigid. When we went into the chapel in the 4th century, the 2nd century, symbol to have been the authority figures for the Hebrew party of the church. And we know about them from the Synoptic Gospels. I mentioned the 12. Okay? One thing to keep in mind though is what on earth happened to the Blighters afterwards. We have loads of myths about how Thomas went to India and how James went to Spain. There is not one single historical shred for anything beyond the subsequent career of Peter and a small little historical reminiscence that James and John were executed in 42. What happened to the others? Well, I'll tell you what happened to the others. They sank without trace. They made absolutely no impact on history. Interesting, right? Which may be a slight argument for saying that the authority structure of apostle fell to bits very quickly. So we've translated it back as the 12 missioners, which looks Jewish. Let's translate the 7 deacons back into Greek. Diakonos means a servant or a minister, somebody who ministers to you. Now we have 12 missioners and 7 ministers. 7 is the perfect number in Greek religious speculation. It was a few of those.
Yeah, I was just nodding because I'm on 7 and 12.
So you've got 7 ministers who appear to have been an authority structure for the Hellenist party of the church. This is hypothesis, okay? It looks as if it could be a working. So if you've got the 12 apostles, 12 missioners, as the leaders of the Hebrew party, and the 7 ministers as the leader of the Greek party, you have in effect 2 churches, 2 Christian churches in Jerusalem from the first generation. Now who's the leader of the 7 ministers? No? Stephen. Stephanos means the crown, prince. And Stephen undoubtedly was the guiding light of the Hellenistic party in Jerusalem. You can see how we're coming through a long roundabout way back to Paul, of course. Because he was there when Stephen got stoned. Now, being a Hellenist as opposed to being a Hebraist, meant that you had read Greek philosophy, you liked Greek literature, you'd go to the Greek plays, you were a liberally educated man. What it also seems to have meant is that as a Christian Hellenist, you were far more radical in your views than the Hebrew Christians. Hebrew Christianity, basic, very general rule, we carry on as before, chaps. You know? Okay, we might have a little church meeting on a Sunday morning, break this bread like for Jesus. But basically, our worship is on a Friday night, Saturday. We meet in the temple. We are Jews. Nothing's changed. Certainly Jesus hasn't changed that. And look at the evidence for that we've been looking at in the Gospel of Mark. Was there any word from Jesus that said you should stop being Jews? Did he mean to follow? liberal attitude to what constituted church. And we can see that by, if you read Acts chapter 7, you get the dog ears, bits and pieces, of the speech of Stephen's, which probably reflects quite a lot of what he thought. It's a very long-winded speech. It runs through the whole history of salvation through the Old Testament, but culminates on his key theological idea that since the arrival of Jesus, since the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, we should demolish the temple. Put dynamite in its foundations, blow it up, never go back, don't cross the thresholds again, don't go back to the synagogues. For a Jewish theologian, that's an incredibly radical statement. So radical that it's the reason he's executed, for daring to suggest we should demolish the temple. Very heart of the Torah, Hebrew religion. Notice his conclusion. The Greek Christian leader has decided that since the time of Jesus, temple ritual, in other words, Judaism itself, is finished, over. So we've got the Greek Christians have snapped off Christianity as a new religion. The Hebrew Christians don't want to do that. The Greek Christians want to start it as a new religion. Who wins the day? Well, the Greek ones do, of course. The chief priest executes Stephen for blasphemy and stone him. One of the people at the execution is Saul, seminarian. The people who would have executed the blasphemer were people who had brought the charges against him. If you accused somebody of blasphemy, you technically had to chuck some stones at him, which meant great big paving stones. It was a horrible way of dying. So one would presume that the theologians had got their finger on Stephanos, Stephen, theologians of the rabbinical schools, and therefore executed him. And among those people of the rabbinical school would have been Saul. That's why he's there at the execution. The blasphemer were people who had brought the charges against him. If you accused somebody of blasphemy, you technically had to chuck some stones at him, which meant great big paving stones. It was a horrible way of dying. So one would presume that the theologians had got their finger on Stephanos, Stephen, theologians of the rabbinical schools, and therefore executed